Hey everyone, welcome back to Sophisticated Organization for a major closet decluttering session. I'm hoping that this video inspires you to declutter your closet along with me. I personally love watching YouTube videos like this and pressing play and decluttering while I listen to somebody else. It's just kind of motivating. So if you have time today as you're watching this video to do some decluttering of your closet, then let's work on this together. I'm starting with my dresses, and for each category, the best way to go about it is always to pull absolutely everything out of your closet first. Now, it doesn't make sense for me, at least, because I have so much clothing, to pull everything out at once. So I'm going category by category. And like I said, I'm starting with dresses. Those are just kind of fun for me. I love my dresses, so I do end up keeping quite a few of my dresses, and you'll see as I'm moving them from one pile to another, I'm starting by making a pile of dresses that are my absolute favorite. I know I wear them all the time, and they're things that I want to go back in my closet. That's the best category to start with, is the things that you know you love, you wear them a lot. Those should go back right away. Then the other pile that's a little bit further to the left there on the screen is my maybe pile. If there's something that I identify right away that I can get rid of, I am going to do that and put that in a specific decluttering pile. But if not, it's going to go in my maybe pile. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I'm going to go back through and go through the maybe pile and figure out why it's a maybe, why it's in that pile, and what questions I can ask myself to figure out if it's something I should keep or something I should get rid of. There is an argument to be made that if it goes in the maybe pile to begin with, then it's something that you should just get rid of. If it's not a yes, then it's a no. That's one strategy you can definitely do. But for me, I like going through that maybe pile because there's sometimes things in the maybe department that I just want to try on. I haven't had the opportunity to wear recently, and I want to make sure I still love the way that it fits me, love the way that I feel in it, all of that stuff. And especially because I am 3 months postpartum, a lot of this clothing I have not had the opportunity to wear recently. My body has changed a lot. It's still not necessarily where I would like it to be right now. So I think trying on this clothing will actually be quite beneficial for me, which I'll chat about a little bit later. And you'll see I am putting my clothing back, all of the stuff that was a for sure yes, things that I love and wear all the time, or even if I don't wear it all the time, in the formal dress and formal clothing category. It's not necessarily the best strategy to just ask yourself, do I wear this all the time? Because a lot of times formal clothing you don't have the opportunity to wear all the time. At least I don't. I work from home. I'm a mom. I am typically like running errands and stuff when I'm leaving the house. There's not a lot of formal events going on. So that's not the right question for me to be asking myself when it comes to formal clothing. I more look at, is this, again, something that I like, something that if I were presented with an opportunity to wear something a little bit more formal, is this the item of clothing I would pick? I still stand by, that is one of my favorite questions to ask myself, especially for slightly more formal clothing, is if you had a certain event, say it was a wedding or maybe a date night, how many other outfits would you pick before you picked this one that you're looking at right now and trying to decide whether to keep or declutter? That helps me to know, okay, if there's 15 different things I would pick before this dress, I'm probably never going to wear this dress because I'm never going to get through those first 15 to end up picking this one. Okay, so you can see that I've moved on to my long sleeve tops and short sleeve tops. I have those on the bottom row here. I've done the same thing, pulled them all out, and instead of making those 2 piles or 3 piles on the floor there of for sure keep, maybe, and declutter, I'm running out of space on the floor because I haven't gone through those maybe dresses yet. I'm just going to start putting the things that I for sure want to keep right back on the closet rod there. I have my long sleeve tops and short sleeve tops here, but up above, which we'll go through and declutter a little bit later, I have jackets. I keep my tank tops up there because those are typically more layering pieces, or I go specifically to find a tank top. I also have some formal work pants as well as skirts and a couple of other things up there. whatever way you decide to organize your closet just needs to be something that works for you and is functional. I also like having these down low because they're probably the most worn items, and it's a little bit easier for me to access things that are lower down. If you're taller and it's harder for you to bend down, then maybe it will be the reverse for you and you want to put things that you access often up higher. I think my husband does that with his side. When we split the dresser up, he usually wants drawers that are up higher so he doesn't have to bend all the way down. You get the point. So I am still going through here, and that declutter pile is definitely growing, but you'll see I'm still keeping a lot of stuff. And I am very fortunate to have so many beautiful pieces of clothing. I just feel like it is too much right now, and I don't want to get rid of everything just for the sake of getting rid of things. If I still like it and I still wear it, that's the mentality that I'm using. And I know you may look at this closet and say, oh my gosh, she is not decluttering enough. There's a ton of clothing there. And I kind of think, like, to each their own with their closets. I by no means claim to be a minimalist here. I am just trying to keep my spaces functional. If, for example, I had a smaller closet, I might end up decluttering a little bit more. But for the space that I have, my clothing has lots of room to breathe, which is nice. Things are not packed in my closet. That might not be the case for my dresses. My long hang space is a little bit tight, but everywhere else, there is room to breathe for my clothing. It's spaced out nicely, and I don't have things stuffed in here, which is also important to me as I'm going through and organizing and decluttering my closet. Now we're moving on to jackets, and I'm also pulling down some of my vests. There are a few really casual jackets that I left up there because I know I wear them all of the time. I'm more so pulling out my vests, which I could use your help here. Are these like little puffer vests still in style? What about the Patagonia one I have? I'm just not sure. And I do like to think about what's in style to a certain degree, because for me, I would personally rather focus on things that fit me and make me feel good rather than them being in style. But I also don't want to be so far off the trends that when you go out in public, people are like, oh my gosh, that girl is stuck in 2010 or something, and I've just never let my style evolve. I do love clothing and style, but only to a certain extent. I feel like I somewhat keep up with the trends, but there are certain things where I'm like, that is way too far for me. I think most of my clothing airs more towards the classic styles that can probably bridge the gaps of more extreme styles. So I just went to go look for a new pair of jeans, and the sales associate that helped me, she laid out all of the jeans for me from widest leg to narrowest leg, because I know that skinny jeans aren't really the thing anymore. So I wanted to broaden my horizons, maybe get on to a pair of jeans that are a little bit more on trend. And I started on the end of the pants that were the widest leg, and I put them on and was like, who am I? What am I thinking? These are absolutely ridiculous looking on me. And I think that's because I don't typically sway towards any extreme trend. I ended up picking a pair of pants that was more of a straight leg, pretty neutral in the sense that you wouldn't ever make a comment like, oh my gosh, that girl is so out of style, or wow, she is so trendy. I like to sit somewhere in the middle. A lot of these tops are more workwear, and that's something I've still been struggling with since I have moved to working completely remote. I used to wear a lot of my skirts and formal tops, as well as my, I call them work pants, but maybe more formal pants you can call them, to work every single day. I used to be in the office 5 days a week. Then I did get a work from home day, so I was there 4 days a week, but still I was wearing this clothing all of the time, and I still really like a lot of it. I just don't have the opportunity to wear it. So I'm grappling with that issue of every time I do this closet declutter, I'm getting rid of just a little bit more workwear each and every time. So I just finished up going through all of my dresses and skirts. I have this whole, and pants, this whole pile of things that I'm getting rid of. I got a couple dresses here, another dress, 1, 2, 3 skirts. Oh, and I went through tank tops, getting rid of a tank top there. And then the rest of these dresses I am going to hang up and put away. I kind of thought it was interesting trying this stuff on. Usually I would think it was just trying it on to see if I just in general liked it or it fit me. But I, again, was very surprised by what I found, because a lot of these things, you know, this was a work dress that I would exclusively wear to work when I was younger, and probably felt like it was too mature for me to wear in other circumstances. Now I'm in my early 30s and I feel like it's a much better fit for my age. Some of the other things that I felt like might fit my body and I would be comfortable in were actually things that didn't look as flattering on me as I thought they would, or even though they fit me and were potentially flattering, they just don't fit my lifestyle anymore, or like I just couldn't envision a time that I would wear it. A couple of these items I will say are still a little bit tight on me, just again knowing that I'm not exactly where I want to be with my body, and I like them, so I put them on and was like, ooh, if I fit in this a little bit better, I would be so excited to wear this. And other ones, I thought to myself, even if I lost a little bit of weight, got in better shape, and this fit me, I don't even know if I'd be excited to wear it. So that was kind of surprising. And I think a really good way to think about things is that even if you get to your goal weight, if you have some clothing like I do that you're, you know, working on your body right now and you're hoping to fit into it, actually try and put it on your body right now. Even if it doesn't fit you and you know it's not going to zip up, you know it's not going to button up, try it on and envision yourself zipping it up and then think if you'd actually like it, because I was quite surprised that a couple of the things that I thought were goal items really weren't. So I am going to hang up all of this clothing and then I am going to move over to my tops. But I have a really good declutter pile here and we're making a lot of progress. I also had these sweaters that I haven't gone through. I have a couple of scarves, which I will deal with. I think I'm going to do a part 2 video where I'm going to do all of my accessories, but I'm just going to peek through all of these. Some of these are actually quite new. Like, I know I love this blue sweater. I have this sweater in 2 different colors, which I really like. It's a nice cashmere sweater. Put those away. Same thing, I just got this one. This blue one is like 2 years old. This could be a maybe, get rid of. So I'm gonna pull that out. Just got this sweater last summer, love that. Let's see. This is a nice white, basic, kind of staple sweater. Same color as that other orange one, but I also really like it. And then, okay, this sweater, I still like it a lot. It's from Something Navy. She's an influencer online. What's her name? Ariel Charnas or something. But I like this sweater. It's just in such bad shape, and I've used the pillar thing on it before, so maybe I'll try that one more time and see if I can get it looking better. But if not, I should probably get rid of it just because it doesn't really look like it's in great shape anymore. So maybe 2 things to get rid of there. Okay, so I have now finished decluttering everything. I am going to start putting things in piles. So I get questions a lot about what I do with my clothing, or really anything that I declutter. If I just toss it in the garbage, if I bring it to somewhere like Goodwill or Salvation Army and just kind of generically donate it to one of those types of places, or if I sell it online or consignment stores or whatever the case might be. And the answer is it's a combo. So if something is just in terrible, terrible condition, I may consider just tossing it. There are some charities that you can donate even just clothing in like the worst condition if that's something you're interested in, and they will, I don't know, reuse the fabric somehow. But things that are really, really bad, I typically end up just tossing in the trash, and that's very rare that happens. Kind of the next level up is I will do somewhere where there's just a generic clothing drop location. Things that are, I don't know, like just t-shirts or just aren't very nice. Then I will also try and consign clothing. I usually am not somebody to spend a lot of my time trying to resell my clothing. There's a huge value in it and you can make a lot of money doing it. I have a friend that I grew up figure skating with who has made it pretty much her full-time job, where she goes and collects clothing from people's homes and she resells it. She takes a portion of the sales and then gives people back a portion of the sales. So she's spending the time and effort selling their clothing, but she gets all the money. She even goes to thrift shops, buys clothing, or goes to somewhere like Goodwill, buys the clothing, and then resells it online. So you can make a lot of money. I just have not mastered things like Poshmark and Mercari and all of that. So I oftentimes try and find local consignment stores and just bring my clothing there. And I usually don't make a ton of money. I just give it a shot. So I always go on their websites and look and see what types of brands they accept. I used to have a lot of places that I went to when I lived in Denver, and I kind of had my routine down. More work type clothing I would bring to one place, more fashiony, trendy clothing I'd bring to another. There was one that I went to that was just very, very high-end brands, which when I sold something, I made a fair amount of money. There are places that just kind of in bulk will take a lot cheaper brands and give you like pennies on your clothing. So depending on how much you have, it might add up, and it's worth giving it a shot if you want to try and recoup something and that's something you're feeling a little bit guilty about, is just getting rid of your clothing. I will say, if you are trying to consign your clothing, whether it is in a consignment store or online, a lot of times, especially a consignment store, you have to have the actual tag on it. They want to know the brand, they want to know the size. So if you've cut those things out, a lot of times it's not even eligible to be sold. But if you have gotten rid of the tag and you want to try selling online, you might be able to. So I'm going through, I'm making sure there are tags on things, trying to make piles of really high-end items, kind of the medium end, things that I'm going to donate. And then as I'm going through, I'm checking to see if there are stains, rips, tears, because if I am trying to resell and it has stains, rips, tears, again, a lot of places will not accept that. So I'm going to go through and then I will show you a quick pan of the final after. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. This was really fun decluttering our closets together. Make sure to follow me on Instagram for more decluttering content. But until next time, I will see you all later.